Hey arty friends, I am here in beautiful, scenic Luling, Louisiana. I'm in my family's backyard, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about my tips for doing library cons. I've mentioned them in several videos. I have several recaps of my experiences doing library shows, from shows actually at libraries like A2CAF or ImagineCon or Destrehan's First Comic Con, all the way to shows for librarians. Let me see if I can, there we go, or shows for librarians like ALAAC. So I have a lot of tips for you guys, especially since people have been asking. I will start off by saying I think library cons are a fantastic first show for any artist, and colleges used to do little anime shows, and that if you have a local college that's doing that, that is also a great first con for you. But library shows tend to be free, they tend to be open to the public, and they tend to be free to table at. So if you hear about one, you should definitely get in contact with the librarian there, even if it's past the deadline, because often they can find a space for you. So my tips are, don't expect to make bank. Most library shows go from 11 o'clock in the morning to 5. 5 is usually the latest they go. The show I did this weekend was from 1 to 4, so the show is just not open long enough for you to make a lot of money. However, if you are prepared, if you've got a lot of good stuff to sell, and if you've got your sales demeanor down pat, you can stand to make $175 to $200. So I wouldn't go out of my way to overly prepare for a library con, but a library con can be a great addition to your convention rotation that doesn't add a lot of work and it doesn't add travel. I would not travel any long distance for a library con unless there is a specific reason why you want to do it. So like with Destrehan's Comic Con, I had to come because I'm from St. Charles Parish, and I feel really strongly about a comic community here in Louisiana. So I really wanted to go and give my support and be part of that first show. A show like A2CAF, which is a library con in Ann Arbor, Michigan, is a great experience because the sort of other artists it attracts a lot of published professional kid-lit artists like Raina Telgemeier or Zach Galliano, or Giolongo, I'm sorry. Galliano is a common last name here in Louisiana, and for some reason my brain always wants to replace it. But shows like that give you an opportunity to table with professionals and learn from professionals. So there are external reasons besides money why those shows are worthwhile. But don't expect to make bank. You're probably going to make at most $200. Have items at a variety of price points starting at $1 and going up, because these are shows that attract families. There's going to be a lot of kids there, and while kids do sometimes have spending money, it's often quite limited. So it's nice to have things at a price point even little kids can afford. Have a few freebies, from mini comics to stickers to business cards. Again, with these sort of shows, there's a lot of walk-in people who didn't realize there was a show going on that day. So this is a great opportunity to promote your work and to network, but it's not necessarily going to be the best sales opportunity for that. So you do want to have some freebies, some business cards, and bring your best pitch, because you never know who is going to be there, and you never know who might actually be interested in your work, who wouldn't have otherwise been interested if you hadn't have presented your pitch. In fact, I was pitching 7-inch Kara the other day, and I mentioned that it's set in Hahnville. And this lady who had been interested in my work, but was like, I'll have to think about it, she came back immediately, very excited, because Kara is set in Hahnville, and she and her family live in Hahnville. So she came back because she overheard me pitching to somebody else. So bring your A game, bring your best pitch. Make sure you have stuff to trade, because library cons are a first tabling opportunity for a lot of people, and doing trades is a really great community sort of thing, community building sort of thing. Bring stuff to trade with older artists, bring stuff to trade with younger artists. It doesn't matter where you fall in comics, or that cicada is. It doesn't matter where you fall in your comics lifetime. Bring stuff to trade and be open to trading. Make friends with the librarians. That is a big one, because librarians have been so instrumental, especially Valkyrie, so instrumental in getting comics accepted and included in library collections, in legitimizing comics as a source of literature. So make friends with the librarians. Thank them for their hard work. Be appreciative, because this is a free or very inexpensive opportunity for you, and they're not getting paid for this extra effort. This is work they're doing on top of the work they already do. Be patient, because the staff for the show are usually volunteers and they're often librarians. They're not professional convention organizers. They may not be getting the assistance from professional convention organizers, so they're kind of learning. So just be patient and be kind, and adjust your expectations accordingly. You should probably have, if you do anime cons regularly, you should probably bring an abridged or a smaller setup. Partially to save yourself time, but also because these tend to be in very small spaces, like ImagineCon or Destrehan's Comic Con. They tend to be in very small spaces, and your anime setup may be too overwhelming for customers. So you might want to work on an abridged setup. And these shows can be great for networking. I was busy all Saturday, all at Destrehan Comic Con. So that's, that's wonderful for me. But I didn't get a chance to get up and talk too much. But I did try to, when people come by, I wanted to talk to them about what they're working on and what their projects are. I got to meet a lot of parents of, it was like a core group of 12-year-old girls who don't even know each other, but I hope they do now. And all of their parents were talking about how their girls make comics and they wish they knew more comic artists so they had someone to look up to. I really hope these little girls got to become friends, because that sounds super awesome. And I wish I had that kind of environment, but it can be a really good opportunity for networking. So keep in mind that these shows are usually free to the public, which means it's good and bad in that people can be more willing to spend money off the cuff because they didn't have to pay to get in, and they're just kind of there casually enjoying. But it also means that if the show is new, or even if it's a continuing show like ALAAC, you're going to get people who are walking in, they didn't come prepared to spend money. So whether people spend money at your table or not, you should take their interest in what you do as a sign of success, and not just count your financials as a sign of success. So you need to hold library shows to a different metric than what you hold anime cons or comic cons to. They are often free for artists to table at. So ImagineCon was free for me to table at, but I was there as one of their creators up in the writer's block, which is really cool, and I did participate in panels. And Destrehan's Comic Con was free to the artists. So it's a very, very low cost tabling opportunity where you can kind of practice figuring out your setup, practice figuring out what you want to bring, that sort of thing. It can be a great first convention opportunity because it's very low cost. The hours are shorter, the expectations are lower. So this is a great tabling opportunity for younger artists, teenagers maybe, who would like to practice this. This can be a great first convention opportunity. The crowd is different, so you don't have to worry as much about your kids being alone at a show like this, and it's a much shorter duration. Or you, as a parent, can go hang out at the library while your kid's selling, or you can hang out behind the table and help them. I think they would appreciate your help. Just don't do it for them, because that's an important chance to learn how to do these things. Everybody's got to get the training wheels off and learn sometime, and library cons are fantastic for that. And it's also great for audience building in your local area. And that's always been something that's been very important to me, both in Louisiana and in Nashville, is doing shows that allow me to meet the people who live where I live. Because I'm going to see them at other shows, we're going to develop relationships, and they're going to be my continuing customer base. So I really love library shows. I think they are great. I don't recommend traveling over an hour to go to a library show unless there are other reasons for you to do it. Not every library show is going to be the best, so kind of take it with a grain of salt. And not every library show is going to have a big crowd. You're going to need to do your own self-promotion, of course, and you do need to be patient and respectful and kind to the librarians who are organizing this show, because they don't owe you anything. This is something that they don't make any money really from this. A lot of libraries can't accept money for these kind of shows. So this is something they're doing to contribute to their community, but they're not benefiting other than the library is a cool place. So please be respectful, please be kind, and please be appreciative of their hard work. So I think you guys should definitely look into doing library conventions. Like I said, love library conventions. I think they are fantastic. I think it's a great way to meet people of all ages and all backgrounds, and that's what I love about comics, is that they're so egalitarian. This is another way that comics can be really egalitarian. And for a lot of you who are complaining that you can't get into the big shows, why bother? Do these. You're going to make more money. They cost less money, and you don't have to pay for travel. Do library shows. Cut your teeth on library shows. Build up your inventory on library shows. I think you're going to regret it less than any anime show you do. The stakes are low, but the benefits are high. So yeah, look into doing your local library shows. Those are my tips. If you'd like a written list of those tips with more tips and more advice, head on over to natosoup.blogspot.com. And if you're looking for more help with your convention table, head on over to howtobeaconartist.tumblr.com. Bye guys!